Attention gamers. The other day I was watching some random spring split LCS Pro League games, which should give you an idea of how bored I was when I noticed that the League of Legends team that's ironically named after a state of bliss or happiness locked in Callista support, which looks like something that happens in my silver solo queue lobbies, only to see that it was quite effective and actually helped carry that team to an easy dub. And considering I'm desperate for something fresh to do in this stale piss pit of a game, I immediately hopped in a norm to try out bouncing Brittany bot as a support myself, only to see that my Varus was already trying to change the strat, and unfortunately I couldn't communicate with him because Riot's infallible systems do things like this.
Play for soul, we win this. You're amazing, man. Thanks for the carry by. You're a monster. Lol, GG, well played, man. Like, this is toxic beyond repair right here. This is unforgivable. There's no way Riot are letting me on the rift that I'm typing like this.
Anyways, I quickly learned that when you are playing this blue plasma toothpick distributor, you can't cancel auto attacks, and every time I would even look at a minion the wrong way, my ADC would spam ping me. It rarely happened, and it wasn't stealing his last hits ever, but the dude was clearly your typical turbo virgin rage fapping basement lurking loser who plays League as even if I tried to poke and accidentally hit a full health minion, it would set off his dickhead alarm, and the first time it actually costed him a farm. Even though it was an honest mistake, this hoodlum moved over to body block my spear last second. It triggered a ridiculous temper tantrum out of the dude, making me wonder how this guy will ever find love, while also showing the enemy team that this was a free win, to which it was. So attempt numero dos, I didn't even make it out of champ select without someone telling me I'm not someone named Carria, who I assume is the pro that started this troll trend, and this one was just as much of a nightmare as the last. So even though I hit a flash suck this twitch up my anus to save him, he spit himself out straight back into danger, and we decided as a group that I indeed am not Carria and should stop trying. But watching the pro LCS stream that day taught me that the current bot lane meta is more open than Varus from my first game's mothers hoo-ha, as they had pros voting on if weird off-meta supports would work. So I guess you could say watching professional League of Legends taught me to troll. And today I'll show two seemingly reportable support picks with weird perma-roam strategies that I've found you can have great success on even if you aren't freaking Carria, because they have you surprising enemies and finding new unexpected ways to get easily fed. And speaking of getting fed, I'd like to chat about Factor, the company that has been supplying me with things to put in my mouth.
What?
You see, getting on a prepared meal plan has been proven as the best way to have more success in your life according to many studies that I just made up, which is why I rely on Factor to save me time and money while feeding me deliciousness delivered right to my door. It's convenient and flexible with what kind of meals you want. For example, there's categories for those of us trying to spawn muscles or trying to have violent breakups with their fat cells. They also have options for keto kiddos out there, or for people who love their animals and environment. I just go with the chef's choice because I like decisions being made for me by more qualified people, and then I typically throw in a few donut holes and shakes for those times I just want to munch or sip on something while simultaneously feeding other people in my games. Rumor has it there's over 27 meal options per week, with each meal coming ready to be heated up and eaten with minutes. So if you want to join me and other humans in eating food made by Factor, use my link or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGRAVFEB50 for 50% off your first box, and once you click you'll see my description will live update, which will make Factor want to continue sugar daddying my content. Okay, now the best part of this game having an accepted meta where everyone expects you to play it a specific way and flames you if you don't, is that no mid laner is expecting 2 chains and a depressed dwarf to show up level 1 throwing shit at them so we get first blood. And then most people will say that's BM and a bit bullshit, but surely they will go back to their assigned cubicles now. But that's where we immediately pay a visit to Dirty D at her rock dudes, and once she's deceased, since this Aurelia looks at her minimap less than Riot looks at their game state of balance, we finish off the hat trick of troll roaming support starts, and I'd like to think I just got 3 other players an advantage, and with that much of a head start this would be an easy game. But turns out wind shitters are like boxes of chocolates where you never know what kind you're gonna get. The one on our team was moronic fatherless feeding shit stained flavor, which meant the early advantage I got my team was removed quicker than Drake's viable jizz in a hot sauce filled condom, which meant I had to roam like a plastic bag in the wind to deal with the feeders fed wind twin, which wasn't exactly how I wanted to spend my Saturday. But what was even worse than dealing with the big mid lane airbender is thinking we're good because we just milked this goat like 2 lactose intolerants trying to make a grilled cheese, only for Dirty D to come in flashing her bank account balance from all the Yone handouts. As if she did any real work to deserve it, while OnlyFans models be watching this real quiet right now. Can't judge. If I had tits I'd use them to stack 20s as well, but when you are a small gothic depressed toddler looking girl you have to resort to other means of income, like heading up north to see if this bladed Betty is cool with setting up the diamond dance floor for you to Fortnite floss on her dead broken champ corpse. Then I head mid because word on the street is that their Heimerdinger didn't understand the assignment when it came to learning how to tie-dye a shirt, and now the shitter looks like he got butt fucked by a gay pride flag, so I give him a well-deserved 30 seconds break from all the colors before declining the tower's offer to invade my anus. And while I think I'm doing a decent job of mitigating the moron madness that this Yone has brought into my life, our Baron gets stolen like an investment around Sam Bankman-Fried. So even though we get all defensive and kill the Diana right after before orchestrating a single file parade which ended on one dead Yash hole lane, it still fed into the whole gloom theme vibe that my champ was already giving off. And yeah, I know you're all like, but Rav, how could you possibly be sad when you killed one of those fat tit-licking ginger pube sweat stains playing Aurelia, and considering we also killed that Clash Day Dexter's laboratory rat right after, I did have some hope. Their Diana might have been handed more free cash early in life than Donald Trump, but she was still greedier than him as well, so there was a chance until my team decided to get a hit of that failure at Baron Pit nostalgia by heading right back to it, which long story short wiped us like a post-shit ass. And with that I know that the early game roams on this Addams Family baby wouldn't be enough. I needed something even better. Introducing me becoming what I swore I'd never become, the most OP of troll roaming supports I've found. Full AP Nunu. Early game consisted of me repetitively rolling my bitch balls at the floating grape-stained battery until I got his flash, and then I immediately told the group that I ate spicy wings and they always give me diarrhea so that they'd think I'd be gone for a while, only to come straight back in with a large amount of spherical frozen water to get the second free flash right after. This gave my perky-titted ADC some pressure so that I could head mid and finish off the hat trick of forced flashes within the first 3 minutes of the game. Then straight back bot, knowing that a muscular amount of mucus was in the area. I waited for the skipping play bunny to get back, and then I rolled right past the saddest sack attack I've ever seen. But here's the thing, I know that Power Plant didn't have a flash, so there was no chance of him not getting Zamboni'd back to base. I knew that the enemy team will have some inhumane piece of shit riding her armored up pigs, so I coordinate a plan with Booger Boy where I'm like, look man, you're gonna have to be comfortable getting pushed to the point of mitosis if we want this to work out. And luckily he commits, which lets us take a group poop on the albino gun slut as he's merging together again before chasing the baited warthog rider down until she dies, and everyone is happy with the roaming Willump up to this point. Even my ADC that I've abandoned is advertising her approval of what's happening. I head top because I don't want Big Nas thinking just because he's against a toy Renekton that this game's gonna be playtime, so we let him hip thrust us into a statue and then we kill him off. At this point I've positively impacted every lane, so if you were to ask me if I feel guilty about that one time the cops came and I told them I've never seen that MF in my life before piecing out and letting her deal with it, the answer would be, maybe. But here's the thing, I know these shitters were close and my Wi-Fi scanning confirmed that they couldn't see me until my cover was busted, so I called the boys over and said we need a quick river rendezvous. 10-4 I wanna roll a snowball over a dead Zerath before setting up a kill two birds with one snowball combo as I drifted this shit straight into the cocaine addict from Arcane before hitting an alt steal that was surely bound to piss her off. And while I did feel a bit guilty, I really liked traveling, and in this economy you need a lot of cash to keep doing that, as I drove my 98 Chevy Snow Circle straight into the realization that I should have taken Ignite this game, but hey, at least I didn't donate my brain to science before I was done using it like this. Arione is pinging me because turns out he's a toxic piece of feces, which I should come to expect with people who play windshitters at this point, but that wasn't gonna stop me from whipping tic tacs at Mr. T and then channeling the queef quake of a century to set up boom solo Renekton only on an easy kill up top. Then I get a sudden urge to snowplow a tranquilizing toddler, so I start rolling a bludgeon blunt in her direction as she hits me with 2 hops this time and drugs me in the danger zone that I just barely escaped before taking my nap. Me and Zachary are now looking to meet up with some loose women in the woods, but there's no takers, so I'm like, hey, why don't you slingshot your snotty body into those shitters and I will accommodate you to the dead bitch ball and assure that you don't get credit for either kill. Arione finds himself dumb and in danger like they all do, so he gets removed from the rift, which I guess warrants some pings, as if I had any desire to save his species from going extinct, as I then start chasing down his killer, offering to steer my snowball into a wall if she drops her sleeping pills, to which she does. So I'm like, see, these arrangements don't have to be flashy, but she insists on being fidgety, so I have to resort to freeze farting her. I'm trying to sabotage their surveillance, but they are onto me, so I pull on Willie's back pubes to have him drive me over to what I just know is gonna be the win shitter in another losing battle that he's convinced he is winning, so I come in, chomp the chump and steal the kill, knowing Yone won't do shit with that cash anyways. To which he wants to surrender, and when we don't, there are creative ideas on how we can kill ourselves, exchanged with a level of dyslexia just high enough to evade Riot's stupid ban systems. But I'm with MF on this one, both in that Yone has definitely dodged his fair share of coat hangers in the womb, but also in an effort to kill this purple lava lamp, but what I lack in 3-point turning I make up with full AP burst. Then because MF is my bestie, I'm like, I'll take a bullet for you, but if I'm being honest, there's a clear line that I draw, and when more than one person wants her dead, I'm like, go ahead, she's an ADC, not much to lose there, I'll just step out over here, act like I didn't see anything. If the cops ask me later, I'll plead the fifth, you know, eat a midget in one bite, and then politely psych, you killed my best friend and now you must pay the ultimate price of getting killed by Antarctica's winter climate. Anyways, one more ARAM style slap battle breaks out mid, and I know that as long as I bitch bowl my way into baby Barbie, they won't have the damage to tickle our tits enough to have us piss off, so we bully them all back to base. I do one more celeb shot on Zwag in his own fountain, and I have to give credit to my homies playing professional League of Legends for this grand idea to troll my team on support, because goddamn was it fun. Rav out.